Powered by the Montana Television Network. Montana This Morning continues on Q2, Montana's news leader.
A very good Wednesday morning. Thanks for waking up from those holiday food hangovers to join us here on Montana This Morning. I'm Samantha Sullivan in for Victoria today.
Kind of like those food hangovers.
Those are the best kind of hangovers.
They really are.
Because they usually come with leftovers.
They do, yeah. And I got plenty of those left over. Let's take a look with the first interstate iCam, because something else we have left over this morning, Sammy, is some of the snow that started yesterday and is causing some slick roads, sidewalks here to get started. As we look with the first interstate iCam, we're only at 22, a little bit of a north breeze, so it's making it feel more like 10 degrees with the wind chill value right now, and humidity pretty high, 96%. There's plenty of moisture available. Winter weather advisories into effect. Basically a heads up for travel concerns anywhere from the mountain foothills all the way over towards the extreme western portion of North and South Dakota. And then winter storm warnings into effect once we start looking into that region. So the snow will intensify east of Billings. You can see it kind of lifting up and out of the area here this morning in those lighter light blue and white shaded areas on the map today with some clouds around. Temperatures as cold as 4 in Butte, but also looking at mainly the 20s pretty much everywhere else. 25 in Sheridan this morning, one of the warmer readings. Here close to home, most of the readings are in the 20s and teens to get started. And we're going to look at not much of a warm up today. It's going to be a little bit on the chilly side, but the important thing people want to know about is the snow, and that'll wind down around the Billings area. So expect the snow to end from west to east across the region. And today is Miners' Day. Today's the day, you know, it's like, you gotta go back to work and then gotta travel and the weather isn't right. So it's a good day to whine.
We've been whining about there not being snow. We can now whine about there being snow.
Yes.
It's a perfect day to just be unhappy with the weather situation or going to work, because that's always it.
I'll whine if there's no more leftovers left over.
You might need to call your wife now.
I might. I'll go take care of that.
All right, that sounds good.
Okay, thanks.
The partial government shutdown goes into day 5 today with no sign of a break in the stalemate over President Trump's border wall in sight. The president says he's holding firm to his demands for billions of dollars to pay for a wall along the border with Mexico. On Christmas Day, the president told reporters only a physical barrier of some kind can stop the flow of drugs and human trafficking. About 800,000 government workers are affected by the shutdown. Many of them are on the job, but they won't be paid again until after the shutdown is over. And for the second time this month, a young Guatemalan child has died while in government custody at the U.S.-Mexico border. Guatemala's foreign ministry is asking for a clear investigation, and so are a number of U.S. politicians. Tom Hansen reports.
An 8-year-old boy from Guatemala, detained while trying to enter the U.S., died yesterday while in government custody, according to Customs and Border Protection.
It's just tragic, and we're thinking about his family right now, what they must be feeling to have lost their child on Christmas Day, to be in a strange country, not to know what's next for them.
The child is being identified as Felipe Gomez Alonso. CBP released a statement saying Alonso was initially diagnosed with a common cold, then a fever. He was released an hour and a half later with prescriptions for amoxicillin and ibuprofen. But later in the evening, the child exhibited nausea and vomiting and was transported back to a New Mexico hospital where he died shortly after midnight. The American Civil Liberties Union spoke to CBS this morning after what is now the second death of a migrant child in U.S. custody this month.
This administration has put deterrence and enforcement ahead of humane treatment of people. When you see family separations, tear gassing of toddlers, and 2 tragic deaths of 7- and 8-year-olds, there's something wrong with what DHS is doing.
About 3 weeks ago, another Guatemalan child trying to enter the U.S., 7-year-old Jacqueline Call, died from extreme dehydration. U.S. officials say there will be an independent and thorough review of both deaths. Tom Hansen, CBS News, New York.
Officials have not released a cause of death in this latest incident. The hospital says it cannot comment due to privacy concerns, and when asked for a response, ICE says it is unable to respond to media requests during the government shutdown. Back here in Billings, authorities are searching for a man who walked away from the Alpha House pre-release center last night. 29-year-old John Takeshorse left around 7:30. He's 6 feet 4 inches tall and about 220 pounds. He has black hair and black eyes and brown hair. He was last seen wearing a black coat, gray pants, and cowboy boots. Takeshorse was sentenced for theft and was admitted to the pre-release program in late November. If you do see him, do not approach and instead call police. Well, as we've been talking a lot this morning, we have not woken up to more than a dusting on Christmas morning, but that all changed as we got our white Christmas just a little bit later in the day. As you can see, the roads are still snowy and definitely slick out there this morning. If you're headed out the door, give yourself a little extra time to get where you're going. Dirt has been dumped at intersections and plows have been out on the main roads throughout most of the night and through this morning. Well, the folks at the Montana Rescue Mission spreading some holiday cheer yesterday. Volunteers served the mission's 69th annual Christmas dinner. It was a traditional holiday meal with all of the fixings, a chance for those less fortunate to get out from the cold and celebrate their holiday together. For the DeBorg family, it was a holiday spent together while helping others.
The best thing was people walking in by themselves and being able to find a table to sit at with other people that were just looking for community and conversation on today's holiday, and I think that was the best thing.
It's been a lot of fun. I really love to see the smile on people's faces and that you can really just change their day by just a simple smile or just serving them a nice warm meal on such a special day. It means a lot to come out here and give back to the community with people that are less fortunate, and it's just nice to know that you're helping.
Those at the rescue mission say that while the slots to help volunteer on Christmas always fill up fast, they're looking to keep the holiday spirit of giving going this year. For the next 12 days, they're looking for volunteers to help serve evening meals and assist with other projects. If you'd like to help, you can go to their website, montanarescuemission.org. Well, the hospital is a place that no one really wants to be on Christmas for patients and employees. MTN's Jacob Fuhrer visited some staff at St. Peter's Health in Helena who make sure the hospital continues providing its services to those who need them.
It's not where anyone hopes to end up on the holidays. The array of medical devices and smell of sterile cleaning solutions are a far cry from the aroma of fresh-baked Christmas cookies and presents under the tree. But the need for care doesn't go away just because Santa Claus has come to town.
Our business never stops, 24/7, 365.
The staff at St. Peter's know their job is just as important now as any other day.
Very important, very vital.
And it's not just the doctors and nurses that are here on Christmas.
We have lots of other staff here, and environmental services and sterile processing and the laboratory, all the other areas of the hospital that have to be here to make sure that patients are getting the care that they need. So there's no difference about getting the care on Christmas as any other day of the year.
Julie Anderson has spent holidays in the past carefully cleaning patients' rooms so they have a safe and tidy place to call home, even if only for a little while.
These patients don't get to go home for the holidays like we do after our shift. So to spend the day with them is, I think, brings, well, I can say for myself, it brings me joy.
Even if it's only for 10 minutes while she cleans the room.
Just because we're not blood family doesn't mean we're not family.
More than 100 people like Anderson are needed to keep the hospital running on Christmas. Here in laboratory services, phlebotomists draw blood and perform tests, a critical service to have available at all times.
Lab results help with 70% of diagnosing and treating patients, so without that information, patients wouldn't be able to be treated as well.
Others are behind the scenes chopping away in the kitchen, giving patients a nutritious Christmas dinner. Some employees say coming into work on Christmas isn't so bad when your coworkers are more like your family.
I enjoy being at the hospital working with just like family or people like family.
We have a great team here, so even though having to work holidays, it's easier coming in to work with your work family when they are awesome.
In Helena,
happy holidays.
Jacob Fuhrer, MTN News.
Thanks, Jacob. And now with the holiday over, decorations will be coming down any day now. And if you need a place to trash your tree, the Christmas tree recycling program here in Billings will be running again this year. The program started over 20 years ago and is run by the City of Billings and the Bright and Beautiful organization. They ask that if you do drop off a tree, to remove all ornaments, tinsel, and other decoration first. They do have volunteers on hand to make sure the tree is clear before they turn it into mulch. If you want to recycle your tree, you do have a couple of drop-off locations to choose from. There will be recycling drop-offs at Hansers Automotive, Zoo Montana, and Schnitzer's Steel. There's also locations in Lockwood, Shepherd, Huntley, and Laurel. The program runs from today through January 21st. And in other news this morning, prosthetics and orthotics have the ability to add quality of lives to everyone from athletes to amputees. One specialist at Treasure State Orthotic and Prosthetic Clinic gave Q2 an inside look at how they're improving lives right here in our state.
This is where we do all the magic and hear all the artwork.
One local man has been making these life-altering creations for over 30 years.
Our job is to make them more comfortable, hopefully have them heal, and be able to make them more ambulatory and give them more independence.
Tim Arrowwood got his start in the military and continued when he returned.
This person's a transmet amputee, so they've lost their toes for whatever reason, and our deal is to support the foot therapeutically, right, and biomechanically support them.
Treasure State services everyone from the sports medicine community to patients recovering from a trauma.
The athlete, to the child, to the elderly, to the disease-stricken.
Experience coupled with advancements in the field have allowed for unique applications of his passion.
I love to work with my hands, and I see a picture and I can build it. So he can hold different things a different way.
Okay.
And normal function's usually about there, because that way they'll bring it up like when they're trying to eat.
Arrowwood says that no two people's needs are the same and stresses the importance of the availability of a custom-made product. This helps to increase comfort, longevity, and safety.
When he fires it just right or moves that arm just right, he can push on those sensors and open and close the hand.
Evolutions in technology have only broadened the horizons of what they can create.
They get an iPod and they can program 10 or 9 different movements that they choose to do. Seeing somebody stand for the first time when they've lost a limb, I look at it as like, no challenge is too big.
In Billings, Jenny Fake, MTN News.
And Jenny tells us Treasure State Orthotics and Prosthetics has 4 offices in the state, including one right here in Billings. Well, thank you so much for joining us here this morning. Still ahead, it's an icy Christmas tradition that takes place right in your backyard. We'll explain. And right now it's 6:12, it's 25 degrees. More news and weather is on the way here on Montana This Morning.
You're watching MTN News with Victoria Hill and Storm Tracker weather with Ed McIntosh. This is Montana This Morning on Q2, Montana's news leader.